Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to cover something that I think is pretty insane for the state of PC gaming right now and how healthy the market is and how successful games being released on PC are doing. Now, Capcom, not everybody's favorite publisher these days. Let's be honest here, Denuvo here, bad PC ports there, but they do a lot of great work as well. And Capcom, when I got into PC gaming, them dropping games on PC regularly wasn't something that was that common. You got delayed releases, you got this happening, this game not getting ported, etc., etc. Now, all these years later, everything from Capcom is coming out on PC. However, given that when I got into PC gaming, it was a totally different landscape. I remember the days of a lot of these games that are console-centric experiences that Capcom does put out not being available on PC, and you could just be like, oh, you're a filthy casual, stop being a dumb weeb, and all you care about is Japanese games. Well, guess what? A lot of people care about those games, and I moved over to PC gaming with a lot of those games not being available on PC and still got into PC gaming. Like, keep that in mind. However, that was definitely a big blow when I moved to PC as my primary platform, and all of a sudden, the Final Fantasy games weren't available on PC. That Japanese RPG wasn't available on PC. This Japanese franchise wasn't available on PC. That was a little bit of a bummer, but the benefits outweighed the cons of those games not being available. All these years later, pretty much everything's available on PC, which is great to see. I still remember, like, randomly reading a tweet one day when, like, Valkyria Chronicles got announced for a PC port, and I got so excited. That was back in 2014, and I vividly remember being like, brothers, Valkyria Chronicles is coming to PC and Steam, let's go! And I think prior to that, Final Fantasy 13 had just come to PC, so around that time, things had started to shift, but bear in mind, I got into PC gaming around 2012, so it took a couple of years for that shift to happen. Like, the Tales of games weren't coming out on PC regularly. Again, this is a bygone era. This isn't reality anymore, and now it has evolved so much that one of the biggest publishers in gaming today, Capcom, PC is now the majority of Capcom's digital sales, beating out console sales. Now, yes, that's digital sales, and PC is going to make up a lot of digital sales in the sense that people aren't buying physical PC games, but a lot of people are just buying digital console games these days as well. PC is the leading platform for Capcom in the fiscal year 24, accounting for 60% of total digital sales with 28.2 million units sold. PC is now the top platform, and they have the breakdown as far as, you know, the amount on PC versus console throughout the years. Fiscal year 20, PC digital sales accounted for 35%. Then it grew to 44% in fiscal year 21, 48% in fiscal year 22. Then you went to 52% fiscal year 23, 60% in fiscal year 24. So this number is just growing and growing and growing, and that is phenomenal to see, not just with Capcom, but with a lot of other publishers, because I remember the rhetoric back in the day. Again, some of you guys that got into PC gaming more recently don't remember how it was in the early 2010s when you had, oh, you guys should just pirate your games, you guys just pirate your games. It's just like, bro, okay. How well is Expedition 33 doing? How well is Monster Hunter Wilds doing as far as the Capcom game goes? You know, Monster Hunter Wilds, I get that that game had Denuvo, but you get the idea. People bought that game, north of 1 million concurrent players on Steam. Yes, I get that it's fallen off, but, you know, Capcom people paid $70 or whatever. If you bought it on Green Man Gaming, got it a little bit cheaper. You get the idea. People paid a premium to play those games on PC, and for a long time, I don't think we would have even expected a lot of those franchises to come to PC. And Monster Hunter in particular, Monster Hunter World got an 8-month delayed release on PC. Wilds, thankfully, day and date, and Wilds might have ended up being the most successful platform. PC might have been the most successful platform for Wilds. I'm sure it did very well on PS5 as well. I mean, the game sold a gazillion units. It did very, very well. And it did incredible. Capcom executive management does explain in the consumer subsegment, our main growth driver we will bolster global expansion of catalog sales based on digital data analysis. At the same time, we will consistently launch new titles and strengthen sales during their initial release period. We have widened our sales regions in recent years thanks to a greater adoption of digital sales on PC, which has enabled us to sell our games to even in countries and regions where dedicated game consoles are not available. Looking ahead, we'll raise the level of sales volume in lower performing countries and regions, specifically in emerging countries, by strengthening our brands globally through further enhancing the accuracy of our data analysis and marketing for each country and region. So Capcom is selling a bazillion copies of games on PC, and certainly some games will click with the PC audience more so than others. Like, I'm sure a Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection probably did fairly well on the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation, and maybe it didn't do as well as on PC, given that emulators are so readily accessible, and I feel like those collections of classic titles just don't do as well on PC for a wide variety of reasons. Again, I think with emulation being so prevalent, but still, they're releasing those games on PC, and people are still buying them, and you'll love to see that as far as those games doing really well. Again, I get that in the comment section a lot, oh my god, here comes Mush with his weeb game. Oh, is that another Tales of game being recommended? Oh, is that another Final Fantasy game in this list? Oh my god, is that World Ends With You on the list? I mean, I don't mention Neo World Ends With You that much, but you get the idea. I mention a lot of these Japanese games because that is a big market for gaming and PC for a long time, and at this point, I mean, it's been course corrected quite a lot, but even still, you see Sony making deals with Square Enix to lock out Final Fantasy for a year on PC. I feel like that's going to change, and I think going forward, maybe Kingdom Hearts 4, day one on Steam, let's hope, and a lot of the Square Enix games, they do come out day one on Steam. You know, the Star Oceans, the DioField Chronicles, a lot of those other games, they come out day one. You know, Square Enix had a little bit where they tried the Epic Game Store exclusivity. Like, thankfully, they've all taken L's on all of that, and like that's kind of being done away with. I don't know if that's, you know, an Epic Game Store being like, okay, it's not worth signing these exclusivity deals or whatever the case may be, but it does feel like Square is going to move into more of a multi-platform release. Now, I know they're going to go multi-platform, but with how they're talking about it, I still think they might be signing exclusivity deals with PlayStation and just doing delayed releases. Yes, they're releasing more games on Nintendo Switch, on PC. I think FF7 Remake Part 3 will still be a PlayStation timed exclusive, so there's still bummer elements like that, but PC is definitely a gigantic market for people to make their money, and you know what Capcom never did? At least at this point, they haven't tried to make their own launcher, being like, come on to the Capcom launcher. We can't be releasing our games on Steam. We need that 30%, or I get that percentage diminishes once you hit a certain, you know, sales threshold, but you get the idea in terms of, hopefully, you know, the Bethesdas of the world, the Activisions of the world, the EAs of the world, they've all taken their L's. Ubisoft, they've all taken their L's. And they can screw off with making their own launcher exclusive, release games on your own launcher, and, you know, realize that there's a lot of digital sales to be made on Steam. I think Capcom's figured that out. You would just hope Capcom, you know, prioritizes higher quality PC versions. Denuvo, yo, I get it, the games sell really well. I just think I don't think not having Denuvo would impact sales, and you would ultimately be building more goodwill with your audience, and I think goodwill is that equity that so many of these publishers don't value a lot, and Ubisoft is facing that right now. What happens when you nuke goodwill for years and years? Thankfully, with Capcom, the difference between them and Ubisoft is Capcom puts out good games at a regular basis, so you kind of mitigate, you know, destroying some of that goodwill. Because I do believe Capcom goodwill with the PC audience could be a lot better if they just did a few specific things. But that's my 2 cents. Still, great news for PC gaming and the health of PC gaming in terms of people buying digital games, and I'm sure this is one of the main reasons why a lot of these games are coming out on PC right away. That, man, if you told me a decade and a half ago, like outside of the Japanese games, that Sony would have ultimately been like, okay, we're gonna bring our games to PC, even with a delayed release, man. Games like Last of Us, games like, Uncharted being available on PC, man, you tell me that a decade and a half or so ago, 13 years ago, I would have been like, you're crazy. Those games are what drives PlayStation sales. And yeah, they still drive PlayStation sales in the sense that they come out first on PlayStation, but them coming out on a delay on PC, I think it's great, and that's because there's a lot of money to be made on PC gaming. But that's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Always interested to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.